Hey everybody, we just went and watched a movie. It was a movie. We just got back from watching The Grinch. From Illumination Studios.
Illumination. Oh.
I would love some illumination into some of the choices they made in this movie.
Dartboard. Let's
spin the wheel. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Let's add a reindeer character.
We need to be different from the last movie.
Last two movies.
And then we need to be different from that live-action adaptation. So instead of being gross and dingy because that's what the character is, let's turn him into a hipster.
Okay. I can just stop laughing for a moment.
I don't know if I can do non-spoilers for this. It's the story of the Grinch. If you don't, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas. If you don't know that.
So hold on.
Educate yourself.
Hold on. Okay, so yeah, we just saw Illumination's The Grinch, and the thing that you're probably going to hear us say the most throughout this review is that this movie doesn't really have an identity other than it can't resemble...
Just be the other movies.
Yeah. And that just leads to some
choices
Yeah.
that are made, because they choose specific ideas that are brought up in the others, and then either A, don't follow through on them, or B, don't do... I don't know what you're doing here. You bring up the backstory of this specific character in a way that you've changed that now makes stupid sense.
The funny thing is, this movie, like, tries really hard to be like, oh no, we're not like the live-action Grinch movie. But it, like, has the same
idea.
Exact plot structure. Where it's like, oh, the Grinch hates Christmas. Oh, he has to go to town for some reason, and so he bumps into Cindy Lou, and they have an exchange where they, like, are foilistic to each other's ideals. And then...
Do we have the Grinch stealing the Christmas thing?
Well, no, because the whole stealing the Christmas thing has to be, like...
spurred on by one specific event.
Right, and that event has to be him somehow reliving his tragic backstory. And, yeah, and then it's the stealing of Christmas, which the stealing of Christmas always plays out the same way in, like, the... like in the Chuck Jones short, where it's more of a montage while they play music, rather than... It's just like, you could chop off the last 30 minutes and just insert the short here, and not really lose anything.
Yeah. And then he returns everything, and just like the live-action one, he feels remorseful and goes back to his cave to skulk until, I don't remember that one, but Cindy Lou comes back and invites him back out. And he goes to a Christmas party and everything's good.
This one takes a weird turn. And yeah, we're just gonna go into spoilers for this one.
There is no non-spoilers here.
Sean, chill. I'm gonna need you to take it back about 5 notches.
I don't know if I can do that, Neil.
But yeah, so I want to talk about the ending right away, because the Grinch just, he brings the stuff back to the town, and then the movie keeps going. typically the story just kind of ends there. You know, Grinch holds hands with the other Who's and they sing the song.
We love you very much, even though you're a weirdo. And then everything's good.
And you stole all of our stuff.
No, instead they have to insert an awkward Christmas party.
Yeah, instead they have the Grinch. He brings this stuff back, and he walks all the way back to his house without anyone saying anything. They all just stare at him. And then Cindy Lou comes knocking at his door, you know, halfway through the day or whatever, after they've already celebrated Christmas for the most part. And she's like, hey, so you want to come to dinner or something? Like, we have a Christmas party this afternoon. We think you should be invited. And he's like, what? Really? Me? And then, and then there's this long, awkward Christmas party.
It just keeps going.
Uh-huh.
Just keeps going. Okay. All right. Okay. Point number 1, which I think is probably the most important part of any Grinch movie.
The Grinch?
No. What is the point of your movie?
The moral?
What is the moral? What are you trying to get across with this Christmas film? Mm-hmm. Let's go to the original.
Which, okay, I just want to say, before we went to go see this movie, we actually rewatched the short with our patrons.
Mm-hmm.
Just to, like, refreshen ourselves and the source material, I guess. I guess we didn't go back to the book, but whatever.
We essentially did. We went to the Chuck Jones short, which is a direct retelling of the book, pretty much.
Yeah, except, add a song and some more jokes.
Lots of extrapolation. But they don't add pointless B-plots.
The Chuck Jones short is 26 minutes long.
Uh-huh.
And so when they adapted it for live action on the Jim Carrey movie, we didn't rewatch this. Because why? Why would we? But, they obviously had the problem of, like, how do we extend this half-hour short into a full movie?
This movie was 1 hour and 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it felt that long.
Uh-huh. Okay, anyway.
You interrupted me.
I did. Go ahead.
I need to get this out there.
Okay.
So, the original story is talking about how Christmas is great and amazing and I love it, and everyone's great except the Grinch hates it because he doesn't understand it.
Okay, if you need to explain your points, explain them calmly.
No.
All right. Continue.
Just because I'm angry does not mean I'm thinking incorrectly. Incoherently.
Uh-huh. Continue.
So the Grinch steals Christmas because he thinks Christmas is all about material possessions, and the moral of the thing is no, it's not about Christmas. It's about being together with people you love and enjoy being around and feeling happy for ourselves.
That's not really the point of the original. Like,
is it not?
The original, you can extrapolate that to mean that. But, like, the original is more so about how this is how the Grinch stole Christmas. But the point is, you can't steal Christmas because Christmas isn't a thing, it's a feeling.
Exactly.
And it's about the Grinch realizing that and getting that feeling. That's why his heart's 2 sizes too small, is he realizes, like, he has an epiphany, and he grows some empathy, and he understands what they're feeling, and so then he, feels sorry and brings their stuff back, which has always been kind of like
But they don't need that?
A weird, part of the story is like, okay, but if they don't need that, then who cares if the sleigh falls over the edge? Like, I almost kind of wish there would be an adaptation of The Grinch where he pushes the sleigh over, he loses all of the stuff, and then he has the empathy moment. and then goes back down to the town, apologizes,
And then they celebrate.
And then they celebrate Christmas.
With nothing.
With nothing.
Because that gets the point across even better than, oh, we don't need all that stuff. Cool, we have our stuff back. Let's party.
Yeah. Let's do this the exact same way we would have anyway. So in the live action one,
okay.
The live action one focuses more on the commercialism thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they drive that hard.
Commercialism is bad. Okay.
Okay. And I mean, it's been a while since I watched the movie, but as a kid, like, I got that.
It's pretty easy to get.
It's pretty easy to get. They nail it in pretty hard. But I think, like, that's a good theme to have for a Grinch movie.
Yes. It was establishing an idea that people legitimately have problems with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And bashed it in the face repeatedly in the length of the movie.
Right.
With a character that makes sense why he would hate that.
Right.
So it works. This movie establishes that Christmas takes like 3 weeks, which is... Are you kidding me? Christmas only lasting 3 weeks anymore? What rock do you live under?
Yeah, like
movie makers
came out at the beginning of November, and you have the audacity to have a line in your movie where it's like, Christmas takes place like you're even cheeky
weeks.
And you're like, for 3 weeks of December. And it's like, okay.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Christmas does not end on Christmas. It usually goes until like, I don't know, Christmas break is over for most people. So like January 1st or 2nd or 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that, and it doesn't start until November or Thanksgiving Day for America.
Right.
Which means you have an entire month, which is usually like 4 weeks. And most people have already started singing Christmas carols and Christmas music playing on the
and of course,
thing.
Like, stores are already putting up Christmas crap.
I walked into the store the other day and there's already Christmas shit in there.
Uh-huh.
That was like November 1st.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Uh-huh.
Get rid of it. I don't want it.
I agree. I completely agree. But here
So,
we are.
All right, so this movie tries to say that, oh, Christmas just keeps going and going and going. But what kind of Christmas? Doesn't matter. We're not going to try to nail it down as commercialism or religion. Oh, that's another weird thing about this movie. They're singing about God in this movie. Like, singing religious Christmas carols.
Yeah, so there's enough Christmas carols in this movie to fill an album, which I'm positive that is exactly what Illumination wanted to do, because they want to sell Christmas albums.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least I don't know exactly where this point is going, but you know, Illumination did the Lorax, and you know, it's a movie all about like
commercialism is bad. Okay.
But they commercialized the hell out of it. This movie was at least a little bit more self-aware to not do the commercialism is bad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know they're gonna commercialize
the
hell out of this.
So, Christmas is bad or whatever because there's too much of it. And the moral of this movie is, no, that's incorrect. That's it! No, Christmas is great! We're not going to extrapolate about what part of it's good or whatever.
Is that what the movie was about? Because
That's all I can tell.
Any sort of like solid theme for this film.
If we're going off of that specific, like, what is The Grinch, the movie, about specifically? Christmas is good. The main character realizes he was wrong, and then we move on. Because he listened to the music for about 20 seconds and realized Christmas is great. And let it into his heart, which then exploded because it got 10 times larger. I'm surprised his chest didn't explode.
Well, that's kind of what they did in the Jim Carrey movie, so...
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Jim Carrey, like, goes, oh, but like with each time I watched this movie a lot as a kid, okay?
Wow,
Don't
actually,
judge
no,
me.
I remember that.
But yeah, he like, his heart grows in size and he goes like, "Boo-bah!" And Jim Carrey does this thing where he's all like,
flipping all
yeah,
over the place
it's funny. he's a funny man.
Okay, all right.
So they couldn't do that.
But because it's Illumination, they can't just have one plot.
Wait. Don't jump around. I still want to talk about this theme. Because I just... Okay, they give the Grinch a tragic backstory because...
That's another plot point that I was moving to.
Because you gotta have a tragic backstory for why someone can't like Christmas. It can't just be that they don't like Christmas.
Or, they're not religious or care about the holiday for any reason. Mm-hmm. Just, no, there has to be a specific reason why.
Yes.
One
Christmas has
event.
to have spurned them in some way.
He's an orphan in this one.
Yeah, he's an orphan. Do you remember what it was in the Jim Carrey one?
Didn't he have, parents? Wasn't it like 2 aunts or something?
Yeah, he had 2 adopted aunts.
So, oh, jeez. That just hurts. So, were they actually sisters or were they just 2 women living together?
I think they were sisters.
Okay. Because if he was trying to say he had 2 moms and therefore was unhappy.
No, that's not what made him unhappy.
Okay.
He liked them. They weren't the problem. But, he always...
He was picked on.
Well, yeah, he always kind of hated Christmas, but one year, because he had this crush when he was, a little boy, he had this crush on this other girl, he's like, I'm gonna go all out for Christmas, I'm gonna make her a gift, he, felt the Christmas spirit or whatever, and then he... gave it to her, but yeah, the other Who kids bullied him. And then so he threw a tantrum in the classroom and then he ran away up to the mountains to live the rest of his Grinchy life.
I need a moment. So no, this one he's an orphan and therefore doesn't get Christmas. Because he's an orphan and has no one to give him Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, that's how orphanages work.
There's the scene where he wants to destroy their Christmas tree, but instead, through wacky hijinks, he ends up going down into the town and he's there when they light up the Christmas tree.
And he remembers people singing the song from when he was a child.
Flashbacks. I don't know why this would, induce flashbacks to not having Christmas.
Yeah, I don't...
these two
one
things
does not
do
go to
not
2.
correlate.
Okay. Did you catch how old the Grinch is in this movie?
53.
No. He's older than 53 because he's been putting up with Christmas for 53 years. He ran away from the town 53 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So this old hipster is at least 60, I would assume.
I mean, who knows the age lifespan of a Who?
Yeah, and the reason I bring this up is because the other plot is Cindy Lou's plot.
Oh, do we have to talk about Cindy Lou?
Cindy Lou is a cool, hip girl that likes to do extreme sports, yo. And she whips around and, snowboards everywhere. Not snowboards, but, she sleds with a hockey ski so she can do all these things. And she's got to talk to Santa because she's a good little girl and she only wants one thing. Her single mom, who also has 3 kids... We're never told where the dad is. We don't know if he ran away or if he's dead. Doesn't matter for the plot of the movie.
But they specifically don't show a dad.
Yeah, she is very much so a single mom.
Uh-huh.
For who knows why. But she's a hardworking mom that's always fresh, like barely at wit's end, but she's never mad at her children because she's a beautiful, saintly mother.
Oh gosh, she's patron saint of motherhood.
Either way, she wants to ask Santa to help her mom. Help her mom ease all of the issues that she has to deal with, parenting and all these other things.
So where do you think they're gonna take this plot point, Sean?
I don't know. How about when she actually captures Santa Claus, it's the Grinch, who is a lonely man who feels alone for the fact that he didn't have a family as a kid, so he was unhappy when he grew up. I wonder where they don't go there.
They don't go there.
They don't go there. I would have been angry if they did, but now I'm just exasperated they didn't.
Like,
You set it up. Just do it. There's like, they got to the end of the movie, you're like, we haven't actually had these two characters interact at all. Like, we're at the Christmas party and this is the first time they've interacted.
We can't have them giving love eyes to each other. It just doesn't feel right.
No, so we're gonna throw it into the credits.
But it's not even. Like,
It's not. It's like a...
No. And you stop talking. You need to, take a breath. All they show during the credits, then, is, the Grinch helping around the house and building gadgets to help the mom get stuff done. And you're just like...
Are you not going to address it?
You set it up.
You guys set it up. Now you're just insinuating it, so all the fan artists are gonna do who knows what, and I'm not okay with this. They want you to extrapolate, but they won't in their movie.
Can we talk about my favorite part of this movie yet? You know exactly what it is.
So, the Grinch and his dog are not enough characters. No.
As you might have seen from the promotional stuff.
They had to introduce the fat reindeer named Fred.
Yep. We have Fred the reindeer now.
Who's fat and likes fat things like food.
Yeah. He's your token fat kid character, essentially. It doesn't get any deeper than that, really. But, they wait to introduce this film. This character on,
the halfway point.
And, just because this film needs padding.
We're halfway through the movie.
And so the Grinch is like, well, okay, I guess I'd better research this Santa Claus thing. And the entire time Grinch is in this film, he, obviously likes Christmas, but he's just too stubborn to admit it. But anyway...
You have a book all about Christmas.
If in your house!
Why? Why?
Okay, but he's like, so Santa, he had reindeer, so I guess I'd better go find some reindeer.
And they go on a 5-minute walk to find a reindeer.
No, they go on an epic journey to go find reindeer.
Which takes 5 minutes in the movie.
Yeah. And they find this reindeer. And then they just bring him back to the house.
He's totally okay with it.
So that we can have trailer fodder for the movie.
Yep. That's all he's there for.
Because he doesn't do anything except the things you've seen in the trailer. And then
they're practicing the sleigh scene.
They're practicing the sleigh, doing the whole sleigh thing. And they go out there, and all of a sudden, a lady reindeer and a baby reindeer show up.
Fred's family!
And the Grinch is like, oh, it's okay, buddy. You go be with your family. And I'm just, at this point, I just can't anymore. And I am dying. And, it's supposed to be an emotional, heartfelt scene. And I am trying my best not to cackle in the movie theater.
You didn't do well.
It's just so stupid.
And I'm writhing. I am physically writhing. I want to scream and shout and walk out of the theater, but I can't.
It's just so stupid.
Have you figured out that the Grinch is alone? Oh, did you pick up on the fact that when he's playing his self-made Phantom of the Opera organ, he was playing all by myself?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he was totally playing that, just in organ form. So only people that know the song would pick up on it.
This was the most ungrinchiest Grinch. Like, there is...
We haven't even talked about him.
He's multiple times in the movie, he talks about doing mean things, but, like, at most, he's been petty. Like, passive-aggressive. No, not even passive-aggressive. He's, like, the least passive-aggressive person ever. He's just, like, every once in a while, petty.
He's just like, I don't want you, go. Yeah.
Or, like, plays a trick on someone, but none of it's
like twice.
Mean.
Twice.
Yeah, just early on, and like I'm pretty sure both of those are like trailer fodder scenes.
It's like, oh, he pushes over a kid's snowman, and then he drops the last jar of whatever.
Like cherry filling or whatever.
Who
Something
knows?
like that.
That's like it. Otherwise, he's just like this awkward, gross hipster guy that lives by himself.
He's not gross, though.
That's the problem. He's not gross.
This movie's so clean.
Which is Illumination TM.
Yeah.
They're too clean. Guys, your main character is the Grinch. He has a song about how gross he is.
Gruff him up a bit. The Grinch is a who? He's green because he's gross.
He's moldy.
Why is this always so hard for these people to understand? The Grinch is green because he's gross, not because he wears green pants or he just happened to be green. It's because he doesn't bathe.
Or as this movie puts it, he's dyeing himself green.
Yeah. But no. The implication, though, is still that
he
was
gray.
Born green.
He was born green, and he's just going gray, so he is actively dyeing his fur green. I don't understand.
Oh.
Pearly whites.
Pearly whites?
Pearly white teeth. Not even like vaguely yellow.
Nah.
Pearly white. He's got like slightly buck teeth. A little, maybe.
Yeah, the teeth are slightly askew.
But no, just like, they're not askew. They're just slightly more buck front teeth. But the rest of his teeth are perfectly fine. And he's not gross or grody or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, sure, you guys don't have the budget for gross effects. Mess up his teeth. Make him yellow. Make him slightly crooked. Come on.
Just do something.
Give him bags under his eyes.
I don't think I have the stamina to talk any... Like, there's just so much wrong with this film.
Why did you bring religion into this movie only through Christmas carols?
Well, okay. Yeah, that's just odd. Like, the Grinch is a purely secular Christmas thing.
Like, the only part of Christmas that they use, usually, is the fact that Santa Claus exists.
Uh-huh.
And that myth, and he comes and gives kids gifts. There is no Jesus Christ or Christianity in this universe, except they're singing songs about it.
Yeah, it's just, like, this seems like a weird thing to dwell on, but it's just weird hearing the Who's sing religious Christmas songs.
Is there a Jesus Who? Did he die on the Spingle Sport to save you from your sins? After 3 days, he rolled away the Hoozawop? Did he turn the water into Winglewine? Don't bring religion into this movie! You don't need that to tell your tale. Don't use those songs.
Yeah.
There's enough crappy Christmas songs out there that you don't need to throw in the religious ones specifically.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Just really, really weird choice and not what I would have done. For the most part, though, like, in all honesty, this movie's mostly just snore fest.
It's really boring.
Yeah.
It's just...
Like, it has a few laughably bad scenes, like the one that I was just dying at. And by the time it did get to, like, the last, like, half hour of the film, like, those scenes just kept coming. But the first, like, hour and 15 minutes is just...
takes forever.
Yeah, it's just like, if you've seen the live-action Grinch movie, you kind of have seen this. Except it's a lot cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sure you guys have seen Illumination movies. This movie looks better than any other Illumination film because
it's the newest one.
It's the newest. It's trying to look interesting because they're in the Grinch universe, which is like the Seuss universe. Mm-hmm. So that's it. Sure, that looks good.
Yeah, their art direction is better.
On point. Like, they actually got the art direction to work for them. Except for the Grinch.
That being said, I really did not like the design. Well, I didn't really care for anything about Cindy Lou.
No.
In general, the importance of Cindy Lou is always way overhyped. Like, they hyped this character up in the movie. Like, they mention her a couple of times until she finally shows up. Like, oh man, when's Cindy Lou gonna show up? And it's always just kind of like, Cindy Lou isn't an important character. Both the live action movie and this one, it's like, oh, well,
they fixate on her too much because she's named.
Yeah, Cindy Lou needs to be the reason why the Grinch changes. And it's like, no, it's not Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou's just kind of an inconsequential character.
Mm-hmm. It's like she didn't have a point in the original movie other than he has to lie his way out of the house.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, the live-action Grinch movie isn't good, but I do prefer the idea of, or at least the direction that movie took, where Cindy Lou and the Grinch help each other, because Cindy Lou likes Christmas and wants to like Christmas, but she's like getting to that point where she's just old enough where it's like, this, like, she realizes like all the commercialism and stuff, and she's like, this doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. And so I like that, like, the Grinch and Cindy Lou can connect on that, but here
there's nothing.
There's nothing, because it's just, she's like, I've got to trap Santa Claus so that I can ask him to help my mom. But that doesn't really go anywhere. And they spend so much of the movie going back to Cindy Lou so that she can, like, set up this plan.
This movie has two movies that are competing with each other with characters that only interact like once before the end of the movie.
Twice.
No. We have the Grinch and all of his escapades. And then we have Cindy Lou and all of her escapades to capture Santa, which is really boring and stock.
Yeah.
But they interact once while he's in town.
Yeah.
and then they don't interact again until he is Santa Claus and she has captured him. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, that's when the movie's wrapping up and everything just keeps commingling. But that's the last 15 minutes of the movie. Other than that, these are two completely separate films that have nothing to do with each other.
There's also a weird... When the Grinch meets Cindy Lou, doesn't he imply, like, oh, there's no such thing as Santa Claus? Like, they go that route, and I'm like, why? That seems like a really weird thing to include in a Dr. Seuss. Like, Santa Claus exists in the Grinch universe, okay? Like, you can't convince me he doesn't.
Oh, I can see him not existing.
It just... I feel like there was a point in the movie where it's like, the Grinch is like, oh, Santa Claus doesn't exist. That kind of thing. But then later on, some other character talks about how, like, Santa Claus definitely exists.
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I might be reaching there, but...
I want to talk about the Grinch a bit more.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to talk about the fact that the Grinch... Okay, this is a broader subject.
Yeah.
We're taking this beloved this beloved franchise,
Book character.
or that was turned into a movie, but now we're going to make that movie again, except we're going to try to make it worse. And how can we make it worse?
I hope we're not going to try to make it worse.
We're going to make it better. So we need to give the character more something. And you know how we're going to do that? They have a character now. They're an inventor. The main character is an inventor. I'm looking at you, live action Disney. Every single one of your movies, the main character turns into an inventor because they're their own person and they make things and tools.
Okay.
Mowgli.
Yes, I know. But, like, at least this one
makes
kind
sense.
of comes from... Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Somewhere.
This character, it makes sense why he would do this. He lives by himself up in the woods for 53 mountains for 53 years. He's got nothing to do except build random hodgepodge things, which already kind of exist in this world anyway, so it's not even that out of place. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't show that he's done any of this stuff until he's fascinated with Christmas, and then he does it all off screen, and then he uses it for his cool montage of collecting everything in town, and then it's gone again. Mm-hmm. Either have it or don't. In this movie, it'd probably be better if you did have it throughout the whole movie. The only interesting invention thing that's shown before this point in the movie is
coffee machine?
Is his real high-tech hipster dog-run coffee machine.
Okay, that's another thing I kind of want to talk about too, is the relationship between the Grinch and Max.
The dog.
Okay, look, in general, your character is called the Grinch. He should probably be a vile human being.
Which is shown in the original. He's got constant animal abuse and just...
Not that I want to watch a film about animal abuse, but like this movie tries way too hard to be buddy-buddy with Max, and you're just like, they're just doing it because they want to
look good together.
No, because they want to sell like Max plushes and
they
want to make cute dog animations.
They want to have Grinch plushes sell. And they can't do that if he's a vile human being, which is why he's not gross, which is why he doesn't act gross, which is why he's just this mellow, pathetic loser that lives in the mountain by himself.
Uh-huh.
I know exactly why they did all of this. It just isn't the right character anymore.
It's just boring and not Grinchy. It's like, oh no, look, it's this guy who secretly loves Christmas saying he doesn't like Christmas. Wow. Instead of, like,
I could say I'm personally attacked by this movie, but that's going way too far to make me think I care enough about this movie. But I'm going to address the fact that I'm often called a Grinch because I don't like Christmas on any day that isn't Christmas. On Christmas, I am totally okay with putting up with all your bullshit music, and I enjoy sitting around with family and having a good time on Christmas.
Right.
I still don't like the music.
No.
But that's neither here nor there. So I'm often referred to as the Grinch or a Scrooge or something like that. Which Scrooge
funny.
is a bad idea. That means I'm frugal with money, not that I hate Christmas.
Well, I mean, it's funny that it's funny that people call you, like, a Grinch, because the whole point of the thing is how the Grinch grows to love Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, I like Christmas, but on one day.
Yeah.
But if you're going to call me the Grinch, I don't want it to be associated with this idiot in this movie. This is the bad Grinch. It's a boring Grinch.
It's such a weird performance from Benedict Cumberbatch. Because it's like, when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, or heard about it, I'm like, okay, that could work. I don't know. Jim Carrey played the Grinch, so I guess anything's possible.
It's like,
And
is
then
he going to like...
heard it the first time, and I'm like, this isn't the Grinch.
Nope. It's like, all right. This seems more fake than the guy in a giant green suit.
It's just, he doesn't put any gravel in his voice. Yet again, like, this film's just too squeaky clean.
I'd be fine if he had a more nasally voice, but the character, the lines he's given don't read as a Grinch.
No.
It's like, ooh, we're going to go do mean things. You can hit someone if they're... Like, you're allowed to attack anyone that says something nice to me. Never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Just...
Like, I hate going back to the live-action one.
I want an edgelord depiction of the Grinch.
Well, that's kind of what the live-action one is.
I know.
Because it's like, that's what I was just about ready to say, is that I hate keep going back to that one and praising it, but, like, at least that one's dingy and gross for a reason. Like, they chose to make that film as, like, gritty and gross as they could.
Mm-hmm.
To, like, emphasize the grossness of both the Grinch and the town, who were just celebrating Christmas the wrong way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really feel like we've talked about this enough. I
want to describe
what?
my edgelord depiction of the Grinch.
Okay.
I want him sitting on a throne of trash. Shadows over his body, except for his yellow eyes that are slits, and he's just got, like, clawed, gross hands over the ends of his chair. And he's got a guard dog, which is Max, except he's all gross and, like, hair sticking up on his back, and he's mangy, and he's growling at the people.
Is that the Grinch adaptation you want made?
I want a vindictive Grinch.
Okay. Well,
I want him to walk into town and attack people.
Maybe in 10 years you'll get that movie.
I don't actually want that. But it's like, I prefer that idea over this.
I don't know. This movie was just boring, and when it wasn't being boring, it was just being so contrived contrived. I'm losing my words. I feel like my brain...
Pedantic and pandering.
I feel like my brain oozed out a little bit while I was watching this. This is not a film I'm going to remember by the time I wake up tomorrow kind of movie.
I hope I don't, but I'll probably stick on it and fume over it all day tomorrow.
This upset you a lot more than it upset me.
I don't like bad Christmas films.
They're all bad, though. Well,
No.
they're not.
There's a couple that actually understand the good points of Christmas and celebrate that fact. Mm-hmm. But like everything
For
else
the
does it so
record,
bad.
How about we name some Christmas movies we like and recommend?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Chuck Jones.
Yeah, that's a good one. Give it a watch.
Arthur Christmas, animated movie that came out a few years ago.
I really like that one. Arthur Christmas is good.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's both a Halloween and Christmas film where the character learns the importance of why certain holidays only happen on certain times.
You don't need to explain The Nightmare Before Christmas to people.
I'm sure people know all about it.
Yeah. Classic, can't go wrong.
And that's my list.
Yeah, you can pretty much throw the rest of it in the garbage.
Yes, even the one you're about to say in the comments. Throw that one away too.
And don't even mention It's a Wonderful Life, because that's not even a Christmas film.
No, it's boring.
Okay, take that back. Well, okay, no, you don't have to take that back. It is kind of boring, but it is a good movie.
Yes, sure.
And, like, I know people always watch it at Christmas time, because, like, the last 20 minutes takes place on Christmas, but IMO, that's not a Christmas film.
Hey,
The Muppets Christmas Carol is pretty good.
Yes.
And I'm always a big sucker for the Mickey's Christmas Carol, too.
Yes, that one's fantastic. But this reminded me of one other thing that has nothing to do with this movie, except this movie reminded me that it exists.
Yes?
That song from The Sound of Music, where she's singing about her favorite things, is not a Christmas song. She doesn't talk about packages other than brown paper packages tied up with string, which is something you would get in the mail at that time of that time period. So it's not talking about Christmas.
Christmas people are desperate for content, and they'll take anything. Anything. Even if it has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas.
They have The Nightmare Before Christmas, and most people don't give a crap about that one.
Well, yeah, because most of the people who like Christmas don't like things that challenge any ideas they might have. And
they're the people that sit there and watch the Hallmark Channel for 3 months straight.
We saw an ad for a Hallmark Channel movie, and I honestly couldn't. Like, we saw it in the theater.
Oh, it wasn't one. It was just celebrating the fact that they have 22 new movies to show this year. Every weekend from now until December 25th.
Uh-huh.
It's like, how? How did you make that many movies about Christmas?
They do it every year, Sean.
I don't understand.
My family really... Like, this is one reason why I'm so sick of Christmas, but my family would religiously just, like, leave on Hallmark and, like, ABC Family, like, throughout the entire month of December and do, like, the 25 Days of Christmas or whatever. And it would just play the same stuff over and over and over.
Well, they can't even call it 25 Days Till Christmas because they start before December 1st. So now they just call it Countdown to Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was a few years ago they started doing it like mid-November, and then they started doing it beginning of November, where it's just like, we're playing Christmas stuff now. Anyway, I'm tired of talking about this. Talking about it for this long is giving this movie way too much credit. It doesn't deserve to be talked about this long. You know? I just want to see Wreck-It Ralph 2 at the end of this month.
Yeah, we're going to go see Wreck-It Ralph 2 at
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Because even if it's not great, I just like Wreck-It Ralph. And
And Vanellope Schweetz.
yeah.
Is that her name?
Vanellope Schweetz.
Yeah. I like those characters.
I
enjoy the universe
The trailers
they made.
make me happy, even if the princess thing still kind of makes me like,
The princess thing, take that and put it in a box and set it over there and set it off to space.
We'll put a pin in that.
We'll put a pin in that until we see the movie. But everything else that I've seen of the original characters and stuff, I've enjoyed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be nice. Anyway, so from us to you, everyone
Do we want to talk about trailers?
No, screw trailers. But from us to all of you, have a very Merry Christmas, but please, for the love of all of us Grinches out there,
don't celebrate it until 25th.
Until the actual week of Christmas, at least. Thank you all, and goodbye.
What, you don't want to talk about The Secret Life of Pets?